Welcome. What is up, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Two Perspectives podcast. Miles Massacola here with Chase Graham. This podcast is brought to you by Pack Pride and our guy Johnny's Pizza. Shout out to him. Chase, how was your week, my bro?
It was good, man. It was good. Glad I got to finish my weekend with this big win by the women's team today, though. So,
Definitely. I'm glad we were able to do this. I texted y'all this morning. I woke up with no voice, and y'all could kind of hear it. I had to scream into a microphone for high school basketball games this weekend, but it was still fun. But yeah, you mentioned it. NC State 92, UConn 81. Statement win for an NC State women's team that probably didn't have the normal expectations.
Huge for the program.
That they usually have, but Sanaya Rivers was the best player on the floor and finished with a ridiculous stat line: 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers, 3 blocks, 3 steals, 11 and 19 from the floor. What a game.
Sheesh. Like, oh my goodness.
I don't care what level, what it is. If you put up a stat line like that, like, you deserve your flowers. So shout out to you, Sanaya. What was your reaction when you saw that upset and just Sanaya's stat line? That was ridiculous.
Man, I was at the game actually, and it was crazy. Sanaya started off the game with like a couple pull-up J's. Scoop, cash. I was like, okay, all right, that's what we're talking about. And then from there, man, it was the floodgates open, because once I seen her shoot some step back and some pull-ups, man, from there it was over with. And I mean, the whole rest of the game, it was just like, I mean, Isaiah had gotten foul trouble, so she had the ball in her hands basically the whole game. And from that moment on, it was wraps. So she put the team on her back, and she did what she's supposed to do, and went out there and won the game for them. So
yeah, I think when you shoot 53% from the floor, 38% from three, you're going to give yourself a pretty good chance. I look at some of these stats, like Madison Hayes, 10 points on 2 field goal attempts.
Shout out Maddie Hayes.
Shout out to Maddie Hayes. 3 assists, 1 turnover. Like, that's how you win. Like, there's just been everyone played well. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I gotta give a big shout out to Mimi Collins too. Mimi Collins had 2 blocks. She only had 8 points, but she had some big buckets, big momentum buckets, and she was sitting on defense now. Shout out Mimi. We need to get Mimi on the podcast. I ain't gonna lie, Mimi. If you see this, we need to get you on the pod. But I gotta shout out Mimi Collins for that win, because I've been talking to Mimi the past week, trying to get her hype. We've been trying to get me, KJ, and Casey have been trying to get her hype for this game. You know, and
she had 8 rebounds too.
8 rebounds. See, that's what I'm saying. 8 and 8. So, you know, Mimi went out there and did her thing today. You did your thing today, Mimi. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, shout out to Mimi. And like you would typically think, okay, UConn loses, Paige Beckers has an off night. Not the case. Paige Beckers balled herself. Like, she put her team on her back and tried to carry them to a win, but just fell short. NC State had too much. Beckers finished with 27 on 18 shots. What was it like seeing her play in person?
It was nice. I mean, she's very calm, composed kind of guard. Seemed like she was trying to do too much out there. She was honestly like she was just out there chilling. Honestly, I mean, it was cool to see her play at that kind of level and see it in person. I think she's gonna be pretty good here in the league and probably anywhere she plays at from now on. So
yeah. But so for NC State, for the program, like, whenever you get a big win early in the year, what kind of tone does it set for the next few weeks? Is it one of those things where if you avoid a step back, kind of a drop-off type loss, and you're able to sustain the momentum, it can kind of spark and be that foundation for a special season? Is this that kind of win?
It definitely is. I mean, winning a game like that early in the year, I think, is a giant confidence builder, especially to a team that lost a lot of key pieces last year. So them knowing that the team they have and the pieces they brought in can accomplish this kind of thing, I think is very promising for them, and also for fans and the outside media, because I know that they weren't ranked this week. So I expect them to kind of jump up to that 12 slot, honestly, with this kind of win. And I know that a win like this and a loss like this can, you know, alter your seasons. Because I know on the men's side, we had kind of like that my junior year when we lost to Purdue in overtime. There's no a win, you know, could have changed the trajectory of our season. So I think kind of for them right now, this is just something that they're going to have to ride the high that they're on right now, and keep chugging along, and hopefully it'll be great things with the result of this win.
Yeah, and the thing with them too is like they have some interesting games down the stretch this month. They got Elon this week, and then a week from today, we're recording on Sunday. They'll play Rhode Island at home at 2:00 in the afternoon. Then they got 4 straight games against other high major opponents. They have Kentucky, Cincinnati, Colorado, and Vanderbilt. So they have to be ready, and this is the kind of win that can kind of help propel them. But just big shout out to the whole program for a win that they needed in a lot of ways to kind of reestablish themselves in the national spotlight. And now they will be one of the more talked about teams the rest of the way. And we've seen some teams go down, like Colorado beat LSU, State beats UConn. So this could be another interesting basketball season on the women's side.
For sure, yeah. I wish them nothing but success. So
definitely. Switching over a little bit to the men's side, they went 2-3. Got a win for the Citadel. A game where wasn't always the prettiest, but they found a way to make the runs that they needed.
Sure.
And then I think they put together a much more total 40-minute effort against Abilene Christian, who frankly is a better team than the Citadel. And they were only 10.5 point favorites in that game. I think that was an upset. Some people had circled the potential.
They covered for sure.
Found a way to get it done. I have a couple takeaways, but I want to hear what you had to say, since I believe you went to the first game, or did you go to both?
I actually just went to the Abilene Christian game.
Abilene Christian. I knew you went to at least one. So you were there. You got to see, like, what were some of your takeaways from the first couple games this season?
When I went into the first game, I know everyone was kind of questioning how it's going to go just off of the Mount Olive game. I think the Citadel game was great just for them to, kind of get back into the rhythm of things. I mean, it didn't necessarily, they didn't blow them out how they probably envisioned it, but it was also a good game to kind of, get the pieces together and kind of get everything settled within the first game. If you looked around the country, I think even UNC only beat Radford by like 12 or something like that.
Radford was giving them hell for the first half of that game.
Right, for sure. So, I think it was a good win, a great win. It was the first win of many to come. So I think that was excellent for them. And then jumping to the Abilene Christian game, I know it was talked about a lot that they just beat Oklahoma State. So I know some people were kind of, worried about that coming into the game. But I think that at the end of the day, like, we're NC State, like they knew what they had to get done. They knew what everyone was thinking coming into it. And they just played a complete game. I think they had how many people did they have in double figures?
In the Abilene Christian game?
I think they probably had about 5, right? They had about five of them in double figures. So that game ended up being a very well-rounded.
They had 4 in double figures, and 3 of them scored 15 or more.
Right, and Mo, shout out to Mo. Mo should have been double figures, but man, he didn't hit his free throws. Come on now, Mo. That should have been double now.
Mo, he was 5 of 7. That's not too bad for a big guy. I want to talk about him though. He's the perfect fit to play with DJ Burns.
For sure,
because he does a lot. The 2 things that DJ Burns doesn't do incredibly well at this point. He's not a big-time rim protector. He's not going to be someone that blocks 4 or 5 shots a game. And he's not a big-time three-point threat. He did mention it preseason. He's going to start shooting some threes. We'll see if he does.
I think he shot 1. I think DJ went 0 for 1. Come on now.
He did. I didn't see it. Was it a good miss? And we both know what a good miss is.
It was a good miss. It was a good miss. But he's going to start hitting one of them, because if you go about 0 for 4 to start the season, he gonna get a red light from Keith. I'm telling him right now.
Yep. Yeah. We don't want that either. We want DJ Burns shooting threes, so he's got to be selective. But I think with Mo, just does such a great job protecting the rim, can be that anchor, can switch and guard smaller guys if needed, can guard up or down in size. He's able to make the outside shot, and he's also a big time threat on the inside because he's 6'10" and a legitimate athlete. So if DJ's in the high post, he can be a cutter. They could run some weird 4-5 pick and roll. And there's a lot of different things that they can do. And I think him, Middlebrooks, even a guy like Ernest or they just have a lot of options in the front court to pair with DJ and complement him. The other guy I want to shout out, he played really well against the Citadel. I didn't expect him to make shots the way he did, but Michael Oconnell. What'd you see from him coming off the bench as I think everyone kind of anticipated him to be like the stabilizer point guard type. But if he's able to, heat up from distance, he can be another element to this team that they, may not have expected to have.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. I mean, I think that, having Mike there, he's someone that's gonna come in and just be very consistent for you. I mean, he ended up with probably 12 points, I think, or 14 points in the first game. That was a big boost to them, but not necessarily what they expected or needed out of Mike. So I think if you can get those kind of games out of Mike, uh, you guys everyone's gonna be on the right track. I know he obviously picked up the slack for some other people, but Mike coming out and doing that kind of stuff. I mean, Mike is capable of doing that on any given night, but not necessarily what they need him to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike's kind of just the glue guy that's going to go in and kind of give you whatever you need. If you need some rebounding, some hustle plays, need some scoring, he's going to go in there and do that for you. So I think the addition of Mike is just great for the team, and he complements everyone's game very well. He's the guy that goes in and complements your game. He's not going to go in and throw your game off or kind of get you out your rhythm. He's going to go in there and play within rhythm of everybody. So
Yeah, I think for him too, and he's a guy. Middlebrooks can be a guy. It could be Dennis. It could be. There's a lot of different guys, role players on this team. There are a few of them that are capable of having those kind of pendulum swinging performances that can swing the result of a game.
For sure.
I remember there was one game. This is Keats' first year. Sam Hunt hit 6 threes.
Shout out Sam.
Shout out to Sam. Sam's
shout out to Sam Hunt.
Yeah, one of the realest out. He was capable of that, and having guys that are capable of coming off the bench and lighting it up if needed, or Michael Oconnell, maybe the next pendulum swinging performance he has, he comes off the bench and gets 6 assists in 15 minutes. Having guys like that at your disposal is really, really important. And I would do want to the answer back with Taylor and DJ Horn. DJ didn't have his best game opening night, kind of just couldn't hit a shot. One of those nights. Bounces back, goes 2 for 5 from 3, has 15. Jaden Taylor has 22. It's 3 or 4 from 3. How do you see those two kind of complementing each other the rest of the way? And how capable are they kind of picking up the slack for each other if one of them is having an off night?
See, so those are two great additions to the team. And Friday's game kind of showed you what everyone expects from them. Maybe not necessarily having Jaden score 20 a game or anything like that, but having those two.
They're going to combine to average probably around 30.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, they're great with each other. I know as the season goes by, it's going to be crazy kind of the chemistry they're going to build and be able to play off of another. You throw Casey Morcell kind of in there too. I like those 3 guards out on the floor together. It kind of gives you a little bit of a feel of last year, but kind of more evenly distributed. I don't think when they're not as top heavy this year, right? So you're not going to have them go out there and shoot crazy shots. And then also I feel as though a lot of the shots that they are taking are within the offense. Obviously there are going to be shots that come and they break down, whatever. But it's nice to see that the plays are getting ran all the way through and that within the offense, everyone looks sharp, right? So, I mean, I think those two together are going to end up having a great season together. There's not much downside I see with those two in the lineup together. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes out throughout the rest of the season for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And the other guy I want to mention, we could talk about DJ Burns. He just does ridiculous things, and we're used to it. It's some of the shots that he hits, he's drop stepping guys 14 feet from the basket and putting up a jump hook.
Yeah, DJ, man. When I first seen DJ play in practice, he had a couple of little big man moves or something like that. And then I saw him shoot a spin fadeaway jump shot. I'm like that. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And for me personally, I've never, with the 4 years I've been here at State, we've had a lot of rim running bigs and kind of mid-range bigs. So for me, it was different just because Coach Keith doesn't traditionally have big men or offense that runs to the big man. So my initial thought was, yeah, all right, DJ, it's cool you're doing this in practice, but
this isn't how it's going to go. Yeah.
It's not how it's going to go. So it's cool to see him being able to, change that perspective of, kind of our offense and stuff like that and add that element into the offense, which I don't think we've really had in the past 4 or 5 years since Coach has been here.
It was so funny last year too, because at first with Dushan being healthy, he was kind of brought in as a change of pace, 6-man type, can kind of come and run your offense through him for spots. He gets hurt, and DJ's so good that it almost felt like that was the mainstay. Was we're going to run it through DJ Burns and play off of it. And NC State's going to do a lot of that this year. The other guy I wanted to mention, freshman Dennis Parker. I think he's still getting ready, but I think it's clear that he's already capable of helping this team win games.
For sure.
particularly on the defensive end. What did you see from him that got you excited about what kind of season and career he could have in Raleigh?
Man, Parker Jr., he knows I'm excited to see him play. I mean, defensively outside the ball, I know he had at least one block. I believe he had one block last night and another block in the Citadel game. This kind of gives you a quick glimpse on the possibilities. And then some of the blocks aren't necessarily just help side, let me come get it off the glass kind of blocks. I'm sitting down, you're going to drive me to the 3-point line, and I'm going to contest, I'm going to block that shot. Right.
Yeah, and I'm still here type blocks.
I'm still here, right? So I think that aspect of Dennis is crazy, especially being a freshman. And then as he evolves within a year, he's going to obviously find his place on offense. And whether, he has a breakout year this year or next year when there aren't as many guards, that we're expecting to score 15 plus a game or something so like that, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to come in and take that leap. And whether he wants to, and depending on who coach brings in next year, I think Dennis is going to be a guy that you can see make that jump to the 3 position to handle the rock. And he's been out there shooting some 3s. So if you shoot the 3 and again, that means you're capable of hitting the 3. So that's what I like to tell people. Even though he missed it, it shows if he's shooting it, he's capable of hitting it.
Yeah, because he wouldn't be allowed to shoot it if he wasn't.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it'll be cool to see how that kind of develops and how he flourishes in the system, especially because of the kind of gameplay he has.
Definitely. Where in the arena did you sit for that opening night game?
I sat behind the bench for the opening night game.
What were the bench vibes?
Man, the bench vibes were immaculate down there. I mean, I know when
because they didn't play incredible, so you can imagine there might be some tension, but they were smooth for the most part.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of tension on the bench. I mean, I know obviously everyone wants to get in and play, but there's only 5 people for your team on the court at one time. I mean, obviously people want to play more, but other than that, I think the team generally is happy for everybody, right? Yeah. Even if you're not playing, you might be internally upset you're not playing, but you're still happy for your.
That's not the time and place you show that frustration.
You're still happy for your brother's success at the end of the day. So I think everyone on the bench was genuinely happy for the success. Everyone was happy, whether they were playing or not playing, or didn't get any minutes, got 30 minutes. Everyone seemed pretty happy, and I think that's really important for this team to succeed. Is they're going to have everyone buy in. So
yeah, no, that's such a big part of it. I think and you could speak on this. It feels like the team last year, your senior year, was a lot closer than the team your junior year, and they're obviously more talented as well. But that chemistry is a huge part of it, as you know.
For sure, yeah. I don't think a lot of fans necessarily understand the chemistry aspect of things. Last year, I think, was the most connected team I might have ever played with in my life. Attribute that a little bit to the Bahamas trip we had before the season started, which was pretty cool, even though we had a lot of transfers. But I think it also just everyone's kind of personality and everything just gelled, right? I think something that a lot of fans and everyone need to understand is that last year I feel as though roles were very defined. So you kind of knew what you're getting. Everyone knew Jarkel was coming here to be the starting point guard, right? Everyone knew Terquavion was coming back from the draft and he was going to get shots up. Everyone knew Casey started a lot last year. He's going to start this year, right? You didn't really have a lot of questions about your roles going into it. So I think that also played a big factor into, the kind of the way everyone gelled. Everyone knew what you had to do. Opposed to this year, I mean, they also know they're gelling fine right now. But I think the roles still are a little murky compared to what they were last year. So it'll be interesting to see throughout the year if playing time decreases and increases, kind of how the feelings of the players, happen and what they start feeling. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you notice out there if you've been able to notice anything different this year from last year.
No, not really. There were definitely more questions than answers in a way, because I feel like Jarkel, I don't think everyone expected him to be quite as good as he was, but everyone knew this kid's going to come in. He'll probably average at least 13-4. He's going to be a really good point guard in the ACC because he had done that in the SEC, which people don't like when I say this, but it's just a better league at this point in time. It's a deeper league. The games on a day-to-day basis you're typically going to play are tougher. With that being said, there's a little more question this year. You don't have the guaranteed returner of T, where we know we're getting 17 points a game back. But at the same time, feels like the roles have been carved out and guys are kind of falling into them. Whereas last year it was all right, this is what we got to do. And that's okay. Every team kind of gels it at different times. And I think the other thing too, and I talked about this a ton on the mic this weekend, calling high school games, is you have to develop your depth early in the season. So, because you never know when someone is, going to get hurt, when something has something off the court happen, or guys just lose their game a little bit. Somebody else needs to step up. having guys like Breon, LJ, Ben Middlebrooks, Ernest Ross, like getting them regular minutes early on in the season is something that I think Kevin is not only wants to do, it's something that he's going to try to do over the course before the games start to get really tough and they get into conference play.
For sure.
Just you want them to be ready. You want them to feel like they're a part of it too, and be incentivized to come in the gym every day and work and be a part of the team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know that you have to get those last 5-6 guys on the bench ready because, I mean, heaven forbid, injuries, foul troubles. The last thing you want to do is send some guy out there that hasn't been in, right? That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, it's not fair to them. It's tough. And I think that's something that Keats is very, very aware of at all times.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of people don't give the player enough grace on that.
No.
Right? You see someone go in that hasn't got a lot of minutes, and throughout the year they go in and they mess up. I mean, if you're not getting the minutes and incorporating them within these, kind of low major games, right, then I don't know how you expect them to go out there in Cameron Indoor and the Dean Dome to go out there and play successfully, right? So, I mean, I think that kind of comes to it as well. So hopefully with some of the wins they're having, they can kind of switch up the lineup. So, and I think with this team, especially with the non-conference going on, some of these games, these what people call spy games, might be a little closer than what they expect them to be or what the fan base wants them to be, but they have to be wary that coach is going to make different subs and have different lineups in. He's not going to let it get out of control. So if anyone thinks that coach is letting the game get out of control, coach knows exactly where it's at and where it's getting, right? And it might just be because of the lineup he's in. So he knows that they're going to allow extra 5 or 6 points, which, the common fan needs to kind of be wary of when it comes to the final scores of these games and not just looking at the score and letting that tell all.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing is too, like, there's nothing that replicates just getting under a live whistle and playing. Like, you can practice all you want. You can't replicate playing in front of, whether it be 10,000 at PNC or the whole 19,000.
For sure, yeah.
You can't replicate playing in front of a crowd. You can't replicate playing with the band and the media there, and it's just a whole different experience. So I think we're going to see NC State work to develop their depth, because I think there were at some points last year where, they were healthy and they thought their depth was developed, and then they had that wave of injuries, and it led to some guys kind of being thrown into the fire where they did well, but you don't want that situation to come back and bite you. If say Michael Oconnell gets hurt and Breon's got to play more than he's expected, you want Breon to be ready to play more than he's expected to play. So
exactly, yeah, for sure.
And we know he's capable, so it's just a matter of time. But I think that's about it. Nothing too eventful on the men's side. The women's win today was awesome, but we got a special guest. Terquavion Smith is joining the podcast. I called him an honorary NC State alum because if you score that much, you don't need the degree. We'll give it to you.
Don't need it.
Yeah,
I'm saying basketball. Some people say,
never
right?
attended a day of class there. I'm saying that. But yeah, so be sure to stay tuned for that. We appreciate you guys tuning in. T was very funny. We recorded right before we started this, so he had 37 in that first G League game. And what was your reaction when you saw that? Before we get to him,
well, I seen it after the. I think the game was during the Abilene Christian game, so I wasn't necessarily keeping up with it. I think shout out to Kim Hayes. All right, Kim Hayes texted me and Darion at halftime. Was like, T's got 19 in the first quarter, the first half, or something like that. And I said, oh my goodness. I think after the game, I went on my phone. That's the only thing I saw on Twitter, Instagram was 37. Yeah. It didn't necessarily surprise me. I mean, I didn't seen T do this day in and day out. So I mean, it was cool to see him do it on that level. I knew he could do it on that level, but it was cool to actually see it happen. And hopefully, he'll get a chance to go to the L and show it off in front of everybody. So
yeah, my response was duh. Like, that's what he does.
Exactly.
But yeah, we appreciate him taking the time. So be sure to stay tuned with us and listen to that. Thank you so much.
What's up, everybody? We got a special guest in the building. We got Terquavion Smith, aka Baby T, aka Baby Boy, aka Turk, aka Only One Ski, in the building with us today, man. How you doing, my boy?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Stuart.
Not much, man. I'm over here chilling too, man.
Yeah, it's pretty calm around here. Seasons are just getting started. I would say things are calm for us. Things are not calm for you because you had almost a 40 burger in your first G League game. So yeah, I mean we know what it is. I've seen it for years. Chase has seen it for years. But how did it feel to get that first regular season professional game under your belt and play the way you did?
Bro, honestly, I ain't even gonna lie, it was smooth. but we lost by like 30. So like
Yeah.
it was
So
cool. Like the 30 piece was cool, but it was like depressing at the same time. Like it was a depressed 30. Ain't even gonna lie.
is the post game locker room after a loss different than in college in the pros than it is in college, or is it just everyone's like, man, just let's get out of here and move on?
Not gonna lie, in the pros, the only thing different from like post game is coach don't say nothing until the next day. Like you just leave the locker room, you chill, you ain't gotta hear no discussion or none of that. That's probably the only difference.
Got you. Who's your head coach this year with the G League?
Coach Longo.
Gotcha.
He was with the Cavs with Bron when they went on that run, I think.
Well, dang. Well, that training camp wise, was it an adjustment or was it kind of a carryover from summer league?
With training camp, I mean, it was definitely an adjustment. It changed, like the level of intensity definitely changed from regular practice before training camp and summer league and all that. The intensity went up. Like I remember, like first day of practice, I was on the red team. You feel me? With like the 2As and reserves. So we got us a dub that day. Was talking crazy. Training camp hit. I don't even think I won a game like the whole training camp.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
So like, you've been gone for a little bit, man. I know you miss Raleigh, man. You miss Raleigh up there.
I ain't even gonna lie. I be missing Raleigh, bro. Oh, you missing Raleigh, bro.
When are we gonna expect a Terquavion Smith sighting in PNC this year? 'Cause I know it's gonna happen. He gonna pop up. when can we expect this?
It's gonna either be they play Carolina at the crib.
Yeah,
always.
Day, though.
Duke too.
I don't know.
I'm
not sure.
I think Duke might be away this year. I think Duke might be away.
Whichever one of those at the crib, I'm probably gonna be at that one for sure. But around like December, around my birthday, probably for sure. Christmas time.
Oh yeah, you
That's
finna
good.
okay. You finna come back and have a ball, huh?
I hope so. Hold them boys pull through for me, so I can have a good time.
The one thing we wanted to ask you about today, I don't know if you saw, but the women beat UConn today.
No, I saw that. That was big. Shout out tonight. 30 ball.
Yeah. So what do you just quick thoughts on that? I guess now that we'll call you an alum. I don't, 2 years of college. I don't think you've quite gotten your paperwork yet, but I imagine you get back. I know your parents will probably want you to go back and get it at some point, but we'll call you an alum. You got enough baskets to where we just give you an honorary degree. As an NC State alum, what was your first reaction when you saw that win against UConn?
It was crazy. I was kind of tight and get to catch the game, but that was a big win for them. Shout out to them. I know they lit right now. I know how I was when I upset somebody, so I know they teed up right now.
What was your favorite memory going back, like from like a post game moment? Because you guys would rush the belt. I remember laughing seeing like Hugo with all you guys last year after y'all beat Carolina or whoever you beat. But what's that feeling like when you kind of pull off the unexpected and everyone you're the hero for the day?
I feel great, man. Everybody love you. Everybody show love. You can coach happy. You might not have practice the next day. You ain't really got no
word of God, though.
Yeah.
So it be love when you upset somebody for sure.
Is it better to upset somebody or blow someone out so Chase gets to play?
Probably blow somebody out for sure. Just so I can.
You can have that take, but I'm gonna say upset. I'm gonna say upset though.
You're rather
say the upset
and enjoy the
game, bro. Like you gotta turn up. I just be ready for Chase to shoot 3 threes.
I don't know if you catched any of the game of the day when they played Alie. You catch any of that game?
No, we had practice. No, we had a game. Matter of fact, that was the same day as the game. My game.
Okay, well, next time you talk to Ernest Ross, can you tell him to pass the ball to KJ or Jordan or Alex? Because Ernest shot all the shots in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Oh, you should have knew that was going to happen.
Like, man, God dang, man.
Did he score? Did he score?
Ernest?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
How many shots did he take?
I know he missed a putback dunk, and I know he missed a 3. I didn't get to see both games because I'm on hoop state duty right now. You know how our grind goes during the high school season. Mm-hmm. I had to go back and watch after, and I don't think he scored. I could be wrong, Ernest. If I'm shaving you some points, I feel bad, but I don't think he did. It's only
he was good for missing a putback dunk for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Ernest Ross. He need to snot at the corner 3. He shot a lot of 3s at the top of the key. He need to get to that corner.
Get to that corner.
Yeah. My question for you, team: give me the best or the funniest. It can be both. You can give me the best and the funniest memory you had in the 2 years here. It can be on the court, off the court, in the classroom, in case, anywhere.
I had to say one of my best moments was probably, bro, I don't know, I got a lot, but the first time, like my first year in college, that was probably the best year for real.
The year that we was last in the ACC.
I was the year they all lost a lot of games.
First night on Glennwood was fun.
No, T, I love that you're the first one to say Glennwood. I literally, when he brought up having you on, I'm like, first question is Glennwood power ranking. So we're gonna have to do that, like your top 4 spots on Glennwood, because I have mine. I'm sure Chase has his.
I ain't even gonna lie. The best spot they had is gone. Like, they shut it down. The Village was top 5.
The Village was the spot, and it's over with.
So now we gotta give it Cornerstone, number 2. That's the only 2 spots I've been to for real. You know, I ain't old enough, so I got to get in where I fit in.
Man,
yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
What about your funniest?
Yeah, funniest memory.
Yeah. Oh no, bro. We had a lot of fun memories though, bro. I can't even remember right now.
We had a lot of fun memories.
Bro, you gotta help me out, bro. What's yours?
Oh, since the 2 years you were here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough for me. Because what might be funny in my eyes might not have been funny in some other people's eyes.
I have a funny one from UT from your freshman year.
It would have been funny to me.
I don't know.
Wait, was it?
Go ahead,
Miles.
Nah.
I don't think so. Look, I don't want to get T in trouble here because I don't know, what his personal life is like or what it was like at that time. I just remember covering a game your freshman year. Y'all played Clemson, and you look up in the stands and you just say, "Call me." I don't know who you were talking to, but you told someone to call you.
Not even gonna lie, I was definitely in them stands a lot on the court for sure.
Yeah, it was your freshman year. Y'all were. I hate to say it. That was the year. It wasn't a fun year to cover y'all. Put it that way. It's hard to stay positive. You were one of the bright spots, but y'all were playing Clemson. Clemson was beating y'all. There was like 6 minutes left. You were getting the inbound after a media timeout. You just look up and you're like, "Call me." 3 seconds later, you get the inbound, go down, and yeah. But that was a great Terquavion Smith memory. So that was a good one. I remember texting our Hoop State group chat. Rod thought it was real funny.
Football games probably was the best memories. Tailgating.
Ooh, I got a funny memory for y'all. I think it was T's freshman year. I don't know who state played first for football, but I already knew that.
I was at that game. I think it was USF. They beat the brakes off them on Thursday night.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't know who it was, but I knew this dude was gonna have a good time. So the tailgates and everything. I think we had practice right before at PNC, and we have a little section we sit in where some of the recruits and stuff are. And I think I had T be on the move a little bit, so I lost him. I lost T, and then I walked to the section, and his first quarter, I look over, and Terquavion Smith is asleep.
Yeah,
in the middle of the football game, sitting down, hand like this, asleep. And from that moment, I knew that this young guy was going to be a gremlin from then.
No, bro, I was asleep like the first 3 quarters of the game.
That was a bad game. I remember that game. I don't blame you for sleeping, T. It was
the tailgate, bro. It's the tailgates, bro. You can't watch the game when you go to the tailgate. You got
it just takes all the juice out of you. It kills you. I do have to ask you this because he's been such a big part of NC State the last couple of years. Your first practice with DJ Burns, what were your takeaways? Because he's just such a different player. Like, and Chase could probably attest to this because he was there. But like, were you like, what is his deal? Like, how does this happen?
Honestly, my first impression on DJ was, shit, he gonna get a bucket down there. So he was really just scoring. But I was really thinking in my head, like, bro, he too big to be doing all that. So it's like, at first, I didn't think it was gonna work because he was too big. But I went back, did my homework, watched some film, and he just got to it every time. So shit, it was good.
Okay. I gotta revert back to kind of what Miles was talking about earlier with the football team. I'm an NC State fan through and through, so I root for success throughout all sports all the time. But I don't know if you peeped Coach Doran's comments a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God!
After the football game, I just wanted to ask what your opinions were on what he said, and just tell me what you thought about those comments he said.
I mean, honestly, I didn't feel no type of way because I like football. You feel me? I ain't got no problem with football.
For sure.
I think it's an all around school. You feel me? But I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like it was like one of those moments where you're under pressure. That other coach said something. Now you feel me? He was just like,
it wasn't even another coach to you. It was Steve Smith.
Oh, it was Steve Smith that said something?
Yes.
Now to your point though, I do understand it, because at first I definitely thought like, okay, in the moment after the game, you're fired up. You're gonna say something. You're gonna say, you're not really, you kind of black out in those moments, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But he had a chance to kind of double back on those comments in the post-game presser, and he kind of didn't necessarily. He kind of doubled down on it. Which, I'm not necessarily saying that we're a basketball school, which I do think NC State notoriously is a basketball school. I just feel as though maybe the way he said it kind of came off disrespectfully towards the basketball team.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I took that personal, for real. I really wish I wanted to be there. You feel me? Like, I wish I had another year, bro, because I really took that personal. Like, that would have, like, if I was still in school, like, I might have went on like 5 games, 30 balls, like straight, just for him saying that. It was crazy, bro.
I think the biggest lesson from all that comment is like, just don't ever always take a grain of salt when you get a pissed off coach after a win, because they're gonna pop their what. They just are. This is how it is.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I want to piggyback off that. I have to ask you a Larry Wilford question. That's another coach that gets pissed off and kind of pops his what after games sometimes. Have you talked to him lately? And what was it like playing for him? And what I have to ask this just because I'm on the high school side too. Like, what have you made of the machine that he's turned your alma mater into? And you're a huge part of that too.
I ain't even gonna lie. Coach Will, that's my guy. I talk to him all the time. I feel like he's probably the best coach I had, just off letting me be myself. That's kind of where it originated, me being myself and me coming out and showcasing what I got. Started with him probably. He gave me that. I feel like Coach Will pushed me enough to give me that extra edge that I needed going into college. So I had to shout him out for that. And now he just, carrying the torch for real. Reloading on players every year. He might get questioned for recruiting.
Do you think that y'all's division is not the best division though? Just out of curiosity.
Our division is not the best division. We just had the best athletes in the whole city.
Okay. Do you think, given if your team was into other conference, that you guys you'd have how many state championship rings you got?
Miles, tell this man we would have beat Athens Drive, bro.
No. I'm not even trying to bring up that argument right now. I'm just saying, do you think that you would have 3 state championship rings if you?
Yes, bro. Nobody can.
I'll answer this for you if you want. He would. I'll say this too. Your junior year, when you had Justin and Samaj, and shout out to Samaj. You see what he did last week?
Yeah,
that's awesome. That team with Justin and Samaj and Leonte and Rashay and that whole group, that 1920 year, I would have bet on y'all against every team in the state, public, private, independent. That includes the Josh Hall, Shaquille Moore, Moravian team. I thought y'all would have beaten them, which is crazy that a 2A public would do that. But that's how good they were.
Did you watch when you played Jonathan Kuminga now? You didn't see that?
Y'all lost in overtime to the number 1 player in America.
Right. We was about to scrape them boys for real.
Yeah, no offense, Montverde would have kicked their teeth in because they would have.
Yeah, for sure. We would have lost to them, of course.
Yeah. When Daylon Sharp is the 5th best player,
but we would have bumped though. We would have been bumping though for sure. It would have been sweet out there.
Yeah,
that's all in my debate. You and your counterpart Breon Pass over there. Y'all like to play.
Well,
y'all like to play in the divisions.
Yeah, the two-way stuff. It doesn't get going until that Elite 8, but that once you get to the Elite 8, it's good. But I do have to ask you, T. You played in the John Wall. You have some great John Wall memories. You know about Chase's most notable John Wall moment?
No, I do not. But I remember Chase. I didn't know about John Wall until I got into it.
He did start a big fight with Isaiah Todd.
You was talking crazy to him, Chase?
Shout out Isaiah Todd.
Shout out to Isaiah. Isaiah's a
Hey,
good
you
dude.
must have been eating that game.
He was.
He got you out of character.
No.
No, Chase
If
was
we
cooking.
if we want to unpack this, we can unpack it. What happened is I was hitting some shots this game, and there's Panther Creek, Justin McCoy and them, they were playing after us. So they were behind the Trinity bench. Okay. So I was talking to them while my team was shooting free throws. I ended the game with like 30 something, right? So I was talking to them like, yeah, I'm trying to go for 30. Right. So I was talking to them during one free throw moment. Then the second free throw happened or something like that. And I noticed people were kind of yelling at me in the stands, but I wasn't really I didn't even understand what was going on. I looked up and it was his mom and his sister. Me. You feel me? So I said something back. I was like, they said yada 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 yada. I was like, but y'all losing? Like, why are you talking to me for? Like, you feel me? And then they was like, they said some stuff. I said, I got 30. What you talking about? Like, what you mean? They said you a nobody. I said, well, y'all losing to nobody. Then they hit me with the you got 30 points, my son got 30 offers. I said, yeah, you're right. Okay. You got me there.
You got me there.
You got me there. But then, just a little, we went through handshake lines end of the game, people we won the game, so people's pride was hurt. I got some real people with me on my high school team that weren't really necessarily going for some for some of that stuff. So that's how it is. It was just a little altercation, but after that, everything's cool. I'd have talked to him after, like I'd have talked to him at state a couple times. Yeah, everything all cool.
So I gotta ask y'all a question. Like, how y'all feel about the is state a football school? Like, what is it? What are we coming to the like?
Chase, you want this one or you want me to answer first?
I feel like it's me personally. I think it's all equal. Like, cause they.
Oh,
I mean,
nah.
It's all the same. They be like 6 and 6.
Oh no.
It's a basketball school.
Yeah,
it's a basketball school.
Now don't get me
There's
wrong.
no banners for football. They haven't won a national championship. They've won 2 national championships in basketball. It's a basketball school.
Yeah, for sure. But football has, they've been doing their thing the past few years. Shout out to the football team because I love coming to the games and all that. So I ain't even gonna sit here.
Yeah, they've been consistently good.
Yeah, they just it's harder. It's hard in football to get that extra banner, especially with like Clemson and all in a minute. But we're definitely a basketball school. But shout out to the football team though.
Yeah,
I think they need to expand the football too though. Like top 4 is crazy.
They are next year. Next year, it's 12 next year.
Yeah, they got to do something better than top 4.
Yeah, they are. I think they figured that out. But
okay, I got another question for you, T. So you was here for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of stuff going on. We had a lot of stuff. We mid-tournament. We was last. Everything in between. If you go back in time from your freshman year, is there anything you would have did differently to get to where you get where you are now, or just in general?
Bro, I ain't even gonna lie. If I could go back, I probably would be in the gym way more than I was, bro. Honestly, like now looking at it now and being around pros for real, like this really the first time, like the first year I ever really been engaged in the gym, like as far as working out, extra reps.
For real. He's not lying to you guys.
I feel like you were a guy that liked to play pickup, but you weren't a
I never worked
out every single rep by the skin of my teeth,
Yeah, so now it's just like if I could go back, that's probably what I would do. I definitely would be in the gym way more. My NIL got me a little trainer.
I gotta ask a question. If you could go back in time, would you have left your first year? Do you ever think would you have left your first year, or are you content? I mean, I know everything happens for a reason, so like at the end of the day, not tripping. But if you looking back on it, do you sometimes wish you would have left first year?
I kind of do, but then again, I kind of don't, because only reason I don't regret it because at the end of the day, I felt like it was gonna be a risk regardless. Like I ain't know. I mean, they were saying I was gonna go first round, but either way, we really didn't know for sure. So I was all cool with coming back to school. I mean, I wanted to go back to school anyways. I was trying to, get in that environment again. NIL. They mentioned NIL is kind of over with.
Yeah. Do you think that like because the experience you got your second year, do you think that's helped? Whether your draft stock went higher or lower, who knows? Nobody knows. But at the same time, do you think the experiences you had your sophomore year playing on a team that won and had to deal with had expectations and lived up to a lot of those expectations, do you think that experience helped you kind of prepare to be a pro now that you're, in the early parts of your first season?
Most definitely. I feel like my roles changed a lot from my first year to my second year. I mean, my first year, I was really just coming in and hooping for real, just learning, like going game by game. Nobody really knew me, so they didn't really have much film. So it was kind of more off. I was surprising everybody, and I kind of knew that. So I just took advantage of that. But my second year, I would have to say, yeah, it did help me a lot. People had film. I had to learn how to adjust to people playing defense, playing against the best defenders in the conference, just stuff, things of that nature.
Well, how special was the chemistry that you and Jarkel had last year, both on and off the court?
It was special, man. Jarkel, he cool, bro. He's a cool guy. He liked to work, so it was easy to, gel with him and get that chemistry there. We both wanted the same end goal, so it was just two guys who wanted the same goal. So we just went and did it together.
That's awesome, man. Chase, I think I'm good. You got anything else for him? We can let him get some sleep before he's got a game. You play tomorrow?
Yeah, I ain't going to sleep tonight, bro. I'll probably be up till like 4.
This is why we had curfews. Shout out to Terquavion Smith for that
Yeah.
comment. This is why we had curfews on the road.
I am why we had curfews, bro.
My last question. For all the young kids that, look up to you and all that, what advice you got for them trying to get to where you are, or just the stepping stones it took to get to where you are?
I'd probably say now that I've looked back on my career and how I came up, I probably would say just stay in the gym for real. Get reps so you can be consistent. And so everything could be closer to perfection, honestly. That's really all it is. And just know your role, like know what you play to your strengths. That's really what the league about, knowing your role. And when that opportunity comes, just be ready for it.
That's great. That's a great way to end it. I'm sure there are a lot of kids. I will ask you this one last thing. One kid in North Carolina in high school right now that you'd love to play with, that you've kind of been seeing, because I know you pay attention. Who's the one kid?
In North Carolina?
Yeah.
Let me think. The generation getting crazy. What is it, 2026?
20 seniors this year are 24s.
It's getting crazy, bro. I'm feeling
so
old.
Like Isaiah Evans, Drake Powell, Eli Ellis, like that group.
I probably have to. It's between Eli Ellis and Isaiah Evans, probably. Isaiah Evans, I be seeing that dog in him, but I've been watching Eli since he was playing up when I was in school. He was in Rock Hill with us, so I know he got that dog in him. I seen he just hit a buzzer beater, so I probably have to say Eli. We go for like 50 apiece. He had like 40 the other night.
He actually played bad this weekend, but he did hit the game winner. So if you hit a shot like that, you can afford to play bad. But they went 2-0. So sure. If you're back this summer, I can get you to I could arrange y'all working out together or something if you want to do that. We'll figure it out.
If y'all got on the same team, other players on the team better play defense because they're not getting no shots. They're not getting no shots between the two.
That's the whole point.
You'll pass only to him, and he'll pass only to you, and that's how it works.
Honestly, though, my senior year, I probably averaged like 8 assists.
You did. You definitely did.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, Gatorade Player of the Year, bro. You gotta.
My fault, Gatorade. Shout out Casey Morcell and Terquavion Smith. Gatorades. We're getting Casey Morcell the other Gatorade on here.
You're playing like 11 games because of COVID that year.
How did that game go though against the that Christian school though? I didn't see it. I didn't catch it. It was straight.
Which one?
I heard JT went nuts.
Yeah, it was cool.
They played better in the second game than they did the first game. I don't know how good Diarra was.
DJ Horn had a good game.
Yeah, he had a solid game. I think he had like what, 15, 12, something like that.
I think he had 14. Yeah, he played well.
Definitely about that game because that first game, ain't gonna lie, everybody pissed me off.
Hey, I swear, me and T.
You're like frustrated like a fan now. Like you're like, dang, I see why these people get so frustrated with us when we don't play well.
I'm I'm frustrated as a fan and a coach and a player at the same time. Like,
I think
like
me
I'm
and
on the team still.
Exactly. I think me and T sat on the phone for like 20 minutes the other day talking about that game.
For sure.
Yeah, so.
I love that.
So
T, thank you so much for coming on, bro. Congratulations on everything. It's been crazy to watch your journey. I love coming to watch you play in Summer League and only take 4 shots in a game. That was awesome. But yeah, that's about it, bro. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
My boy. I'm going to catch you, my boy.
But appreciate y'all.
All right, bro.
See ya.